Happening now, the latest push to rebrand Jamestown High School's mascot, plus local reaction from the next round of pandemic stimulus.
Well, the clouds are around out there for this afternoon, and we're coming off that cold holiday weekend. Is there any more cold in sight for New Year's? We'll talk about it next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. 2 new COVID-19 related deaths and 293 new cases of the virus were recorded over the Christmas holiday weekend here in Chautauqua County. The County Health Department, in an update to its online COVID-19 dashboard just moments ago, says the deaths involved 2 residents in their 70s, the 28th and 29th reported. There are now 399 active cases countywide, down from 415 last Thursday. Of the new cases, 75 were reported in the Jamestown area, with 113 active. There are now 35 people hospitalized with COVID-19, up from 31. The 7-day average percent positivity rate has also increased to 8.7%, up from 6.6 last week. Now, since the pandemic started, there have been 3,415 cases in the county, with 2,987 recovering. Meanwhile, 4 COVID-19 related deaths were reported in Cattaraugus County over the same period. The County Health Department says the deaths involved a 44-year-old man and 55-year-old man, 71-year-old man and 92-year-old woman, who all developed respiratory failure. Officials say the 4 were unable to overcome their illness despite medical treatment. There have been 44 deaths connected to COVID-19 in that county since the outbreak started, 6 in just the last week. 62 new cases of the virus were reported in the latest update, with 531 now active in Cattaraugus County. President Trump signed a massive government spending and coronavirus relief bill yesterday. As Reed Binion reports, it came after a days-long delay following lawmakers' passage of the bill last week.
I'm glad he's signing it because it's going to help a lot of people, but it does point up the frustration of his approach to the presidency.
Democratic Congressman Adam Smith commenting on President Trump's decision to sign the coronavirus relief and government funding bill after a nearly week-long delay.
The president has finally decided to do that is good news. I mean, it points up his limitations as a president.
The massive $2.3 trillion measure extends billions of dollars in coronavirus aid and averts a government shutdown that was set to begin Tuesday. The pandemic relief provisions include extended eviction protection, enhanced unemployment benefits, and direct cash payments of $600 to individuals earning less than $75,000 a year. Those earning between $75,000 and $99,000 will also receive some funds, but it will be a smaller amount as the income increases. Lawmakers in Washington passed the bill last Monday. Then Trump objected, saying he wouldn't sign it unless payments were increased to $2,000. Many, including Republicans, were displeased with that.
If the president thought that that was the case, he should have weighed in 8 months ago. We've been fighting for this since March or April, or at least 8 days ago.
Trump finally signed the bill Sunday after he says he got the Senate to agree to consider measures, including increasing payments to $2,000. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Reed, thank you. Now, despite the president's claim regarding the increased payments, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell did not reference that in his statement Sunday. The Democratic-led House is set to vote on the expansion of those payments sometime today. Well, following the news last night, Congressman Tom Reed released the following statement, saying in part it's an understatement to say that after a long journey, we're relieved for the American people, and that the help will finally get to millions of struggling American families, small businesses, and communities. The congressman says he's proud that his Problem Solvers Caucus played a good role in working alongside their Senate partners to help make the relief possible. Well, back here at home, an effort to rebrand Jamestown High School's mascot continues as some Red Raider imagery was recently removed from the school's gymnasium. We're hearing now from the school's superintendent about the effort.
The committee is in a learning phase. We've connected very well with the Seneca Nation. They have offered to have guided tours for us through their museum cultural center. And they've also offered to do some professional development with the members of the committee. They've got different exercises that can help us learn about Native American, indigenous peoples and their history.
In the past 6 months, a community conversation about the school's logo, imagery, and name has brought together students, parents, staff, and community members through a committee launched by Superintendent Dr. Kevin Whitaker. Since then, the group decided to remove some Native American imagery. Before students returned to in-person classes this month, the district painted over some of the logos in the gymnasium. Whitaker says the process is happening to prepare for a new mascot.
We start with the low-hanging fruit, like the stuff that's taped up and posters and things like that. And then we progress to the really difficult stuff. Like I'm thinking, what would the most expensive thing be? Like probably a toss-up between the gym floor and the football field.
Whitaker explains the district has a financial responsibility to taxpayers not to overspend on the project, and the school plans to make some changes over time. He says discussions about what the new mascot could look like are far from over, and the district plans to get input from everyone in the community.
It's important that we are not disrespectful to those who have a sense of honor and pride about their high school and about their experience in their high school, and whether their nickname was one thing or another, they associate that with the prideful time that they had as part of high school and maybe into adulthood and beyond. So really this is a coming together more than a tearing apart, and it's important that the committee, and they do, understand that this decision isn't a yes, no, check the box, let's move on, because it runs a lot deeper than just a name or an image.
He says the challenging discussion going forward will be around the name, which the Seneca Nation says standing alone isn't necessarily negative. However, over the past 30 to 40 years was associated with the Red Raider imagery. Now, furthermore, the superintendent says the discussion should benefit students, showing them that honoring and appreciating those with different experiences is the proper thing to do. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Coming off of a holiday weekend, we hope you had some great time to spend with family and close friends. Great to see Colton. Good to see Johnny, Dean, Aaron, Kara, and Dennis as well. Thanks so much for joining us today here. Good to see Donna, Crystal, Kim, Sarah, and Corey. Let us know what all of you are doing down in the comments below. We love interacting with you. Let us know what you think about these stories and more. Well, now let's switch gears and get a check of our first defense weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with a very snowy Chautauqua behind you, Dakota.
Yes, it is, and this is all the snow that has fallen over the Christmas holiday. This is the Chautauqua Institution Sky Vision camera. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. And I mean, I know it was different than years past, but, we got to do the best we can with what we've got here. And the good news is the radar is mainly dry for the early afternoon. That's the good news, but we've got a lot of cloud cover socked in, and that's really going to be the story throughout the much of the afternoon. And we are going to get into a few more snowflakes as we go into the later part of the day. We're at freezing even right now at the Jamestown Airport, down from our high for today. The high has already occurred today. That was 37 early in the morning. We're going to slip down a little bit more through the afternoon. 32 Clymer, 32 in Mayville. Good afternoon to you. 35 Fredonia, 37 Dunkirk, and 37 over in Erie, 33 over in Randolph right now in Cattaraugus County. So on the airport, or at the airport, we have 3 inches of snow on the ground. This month we've picked up this total nicely, 17.8 inches. We still should be around 20 and a half for the month, so our seasonal total is 20.3. That's down over 8 inches for the season, but we made some good ground on that, especially last week. 31 was the official high yesterday. 33 was the low this morning. The reason these temperatures are different is because the high temperature yesterday occurred late in the day, actually almost towards midnight. So that's the reason why there's a temperature discrepancy there. 16 and 15 below zero are the record highs and lows for today. So through the afternoon, rain and snow showers scattered, I should mention. Then it becomes all snow later in the afternoon. It stays windy but diminishes late. Little snow accumulation, 27 to 36. This is where we're going to end the day right here with that southwest wind, 15 to 30 miles per hour. The winds are going to stay a factor through the day tomorrow. Plus, how is New Year's looking? Are we going to ring it in warm, wet, cold? I'll tell you about it in a few. Justin?
Certainly, Dakota. Thank you. Well, New York State lawmakers will return to session today to attempt to pass what they're describing as the strongest eviction moratorium in the nation. The Senate Democratic majority called lawmakers back to work as part of a special session discussing the COVID-19 Emergency Eviction and Foreclosures Prevention Act. The proposed legislation will put a stay of at least 60 days on all pending eviction proceedings and or any that are commenced within the next 30 days of the legislation's effective start date. Now, it will also give tenants the opportunity to submit a hardship declaration demonstrating that they're unable to pay their rent in full or move due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The session comes as the federal eviction moratorium is set to expire next week. Well, officials with the City of Jamestown Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Department have announced details of their annual Christmas tree recycling campaign. Starting on Monday, January 11th, crews will begin collecting discarded trees around the city. Residents are asked to place the trees on the terrace between the sidewalks and street. All trees should be removed from plastic bags and or boxes. The trees should also not have any Christmas lights or tree stands connected to them. Furthermore, crews request that the tree remain visible should a large snowfall occur. Officials say each tree will be collected and recycled. Those with questions can contact the Parks Maintenance Office at 716-483-7554. We have more information at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, straight ahead here, a look at this year's New Year's Eve celebrations and how it will be different around the country. But first, the latest in area gas prices, why we may be saving a bit more at the pump here locally than others. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. The average price for a gallon of gas is remaining steady in the Jamestown area. This as prices across New York State and the nation are going up. According to GasBuddy.com, the average price for a gallon of gasoline here in Jamestown is $2.35, steady from earlier this month. However, some rural areas like Clymer and Sherman have seen an increase to $2.39 a gallon. The national average of gas is $2.25. It's 3 cents higher than it was last week, with New York's average $2.32 up 2 cents. 1 year ago, the national average was $2.57, while New York's was $2.70. Experts say that domestic price of crude oil has been steadily going up since November, reaching levels not yet seen since February before those stay-at-home guidelines were introduced across the country. Well, holiday retail sales are about 3% higher this year compared to last. That's according to a report from MasterCard Spending Plus. Online spending is up 49%, and the pandemic appears to be boosting sales of furniture and home improvement items. Meanwhile, department stores and clothing brands are starting to struggle. Another trend is that more people bought holiday gifts in advance this year instead of waiting until last minute to do so. That might be due to a longer shopping season with deals starting months ago, like Amazon Prime Day, for example. Well, the legendary rock band Kiss is live streaming a massive New Year's Eve concert from Dubai, as Rick Damagella reports. Some are very excited about the show.
The self-proclaimed hottest band in the world is looking to end 2020 with a bang. Kiss are performing an outdoor concert on a custom-built stage at the Atlantis, Dubai.
What better time than New Year's Eve to stay at home, stay safe, don't be stupid, and go out there and make stupid mistakes by drinking with strangers.
Social distancing measures will be in place, but the main audience will be watching at home.
People are safely distant. There are going to be masks. You won't know who you're flirting with because their faces will be covered. You see what I did there? That's like a dad joke. We intend on having a great time and celebrating the next year coming in. It's going to be a better year for everybody. The vaccine is starting to go out. It's going to be better for everybody. Stay indoors, stay safe, party with us. We'll have the biggest party on earth anyway. You may as well enjoy it safely.
Come on, people! Clap your hands! Let's go! The outdoor performance has the band aiming for world record levels of pyrotechnics.
We intend on literally lighting up the sky and setting off pyro even before the first chord.
Rocking out in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Rick, thank you. Tickets to watch the online performance are available at kiss2020goodbye.com. Well, like so many things during the pandemic, New Year's Eve's Times Square celebration is going virtual through a free app, which you can watch the celebration on 9 different cameras. You can download the app at WNY.com. You can start celebrating the new year. There are now with games, music, arts, and other virtual Times Square events. Now, in person, there won't be much happening. Traditional crowds for the ball drop are canceled due to the pandemic, but there will be some VIP guests there. There's 2020 heroes like first responders, frontline, and essential workers, and their families. Certainly, if anyone is able to attend, those folks are definitely deserving. Thanks so much for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. Dakota, I know your dad's probably excited for that Kiss performance. Maybe he can catch that somewhere on the interwebs because he's a pretty big Kiss fan, I hear.
Well,
right?
you know, I think my dad was just talking about this. I think it was yesterday. And, you know, he's not going to spend the money to watch it live. He's just going to wait for it to come out on DVD.
Right, one of those sites.
Yeah. And, you know, he'll probably buy it. But, I mean, you know, honestly, with the whole, but, you know, with Kiss, you know, my dad is basically a walking encyclopedia when it comes to Kiss.
So it runs in the family. You're a walking encyclopedia when it comes to weather.
Yes.
Well, the Hunters are so knowledgeable.
Well, I mean, you know, so it's like, you know, so if you have any questions relating to Kiss, the band members, song, albums, tours, anything, my dad probably knows the answer to it.
That's pretty cool. Great to see Rita. Good to see Jeff. Good to see Sean, Sid, and Tiff. Sean says it's starting to snow now in the Fredonia area. And Dakota, I think that was one of the biggest things when we looked back at the Christmas storm. You know, a lot of people really were glued to finding out where and when it would snow. And I want to get your take on it. For us here in the southern tier, I think overall we pretty much got away fairly well, from my perspective anyways. Obviously, you know, I'm a little bit more eastward than here in Jamestown. But still, it seems like the areas to the north, like in Buffalo, they got a lot more of that.
Yeah, what ended up happening was the original thought on this event was that lake effect snow band was going to stay further to the north, and Buffalo would take the brunt of it. And that's ultimately what ended up being the case. Now, the winds did shift the band north and south. So that's part of the reason why areas near the Lake Erie shoreline got over a foot. Like Erie, they recorded, I think it was 14 point some inches of snow from the lake effect. But as you worked farther inland, we didn't get as much, especially here in the city. I think we got around 7 inches. Around that. So, but I mean, you know, but if you go up to Buffalo, they got hammered with it because that is where the lake effect band basically stayed the most. It did jog north and south, but it stayed mostly confined to the Buffalo area. But hey, the places that are really looking forward for the snow are the ski resorts. All of the ski resorts across the area are open now. Cockaigne is only open for members only right now, but they do plan to open pretty soon here. Peak and Peak at 6 to 30 inches. Cockaigne 27 average with a machine groove. Variable surface. Holiday Valley 12 to 36 inches machine groomed. Hollymont 27 machine groomed, and Mount Pleasant in Pennsylvania 8 to 24 inches with a machine groomed surface. So all the ski resorts really love the snow over the holiday weekend. Some of us not so much, especially if you had to shovel it or plow it, depending on your location. Freezing even at the Jamestown Airport. West wind to 7. We did have a wind advisory that was in place, but the Weather Service just X'd that a couple of minutes ago, so that is no longer in effect. But the wind gust is still at 28 miles an hour, so it's feeling more like the lower 20s. Dress for that, not the lower 30s. So again, the wind advisory is no more, but it's still going to remain breezy though. And again, if your trash day is tomorrow morning, yeah, you might find your trash can maybe tipped over or at least blown next door with some of the gustier winds later this afternoon. The satellite and radar composite, I put the wind arrows on here to show you where our winds are coming from. North, northwest. So you notice we still have a few light lake effect snow showers hooked up across the Great Lakes, and Lake Erie is going to be generating a few lake effect potato flakes through the afternoon. In fact, it's already starting to snow in Fredonia already. So this is going to continue through the afternoon, spotty to occasional light snow showers, no big deal. That'll continue through the overnight tonight. The best chance of snow tomorrow is going to be in the morning, then it clears out for the afternoon, and then we actually may see some partial sunshine later in the day tomorrow afternoon, but it stays cold. This is the next storm system that comes in. Future Scan, this particular model can only go out so far, but it's showing you as we go into Wednesday, maybe a few snow showers and maybe a few rain and snow showers at that. So snowfall accumulations, insignificant by tomorrow morning. We're looking at about 1 inch to about 2 inches, maybe upwards of 3 inches in some spots. This is no big deal as we go into the new year. So, but winter, yeah, but we'll be here all week, folks. So the zone forecast, the inland areas today, this is where we're going to end the day. The high temperatures have already occurred today. Here in Jamestown, the high was 37. That was way early in the morning. This is likely where we're going to end the day, probably around 30 to 29 around Olean. Now, I present to you in high definition the next 7 days of your life, brought to you by 42 Degrees and Sunny. 25 tomorrow, best chance of snow is going to be in the morning. 42 Wednesday, should be mainly rain, but again, you noticed on Future Scan, trying to paint a few rain and snow showers. New Year's Eve, looking okay at this point, 41 and 29. As we kick off 2020, 45 in rain showers, and then it turns cooler, but mostly dry by the weekend. We'll take a break and be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smokin' deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
Please, give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
Answer
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Well, it's a time of year when we tend to overindulge when it comes to food, but here are 3 ways where we can beat the holiday bloat. Our Mandy Gaither explains.
If you've given in to those cravings this holiday season, you're not alone.
Here we're surrounded by our favorite foods and drinks that sometimes only come around once a year. So it's normal to overindulge.
But health and fitness expert Stephanie Mansour has 3 ways to beat the holiday bloat. First, get moving.
Like running in place or high knees and marching in place is something that you can do if you're just too lazy to go outside for a walk. Hugging your knees into your chest one at a time while you're standing is a great way to massage those muscles around your stomach.
Next, get hydrated.
Water is a detoxification system. All you need is a water bottle. You can add in some lemon or ginger to help sip on that, soothe your stomach and your digestive tract, and help to reduce the bloat.
Finally, remember this feeling.
I want you to write down in a journal how this bloatedness makes you feel, because 9 times out of 10, you don't want to feel this way again.
Mansour says it may be the inspiration you need to be healthier in the new year. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. And Dakota, I shared this with you earlier today, but I got a great new Christmas present called Hydrate Spark. This is a water bottle, and it actually has a smart device in the bottom of it, and it lights up when I need to drink water, and it reminds me and keeps track. And in fact, I got my girlfriend one too. It was really funny. She had put it on her Christmas list, so I got her one, and then she got me one, which I think is just a really big hint that I need to drink more of H2O.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we talked about this in the morning, and it's like, I don't understand, and I still don't understand this whole smart devices craze where we have to shove Wi-Fi into everything. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't
Ring
own
doorbell
them.
too now. It's like there is Wi-Fi literally everywhere we go.
Right.
I bet there's Wi-Fi in my mouse. It could be.
Right, but I don't know. I just don't buy into all the smart home, smart stuff.
Yeah.
I call it lazy tech. Speaking of being lazy, that whole package there about trying to get fit and get moving.
Right.
You know.
There goes your water bottle.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, folks. There you go. Yeah, I think the coffee mug had a little too much over the holiday weekend, but we'll set
Dakota
it there.
puts a little extra in his coffee every day.
Yeah, it's got a little something else in there that we're not going to say on the air. But no, but I mean, you know, the running in place thing, you know, you kind of see that in like TV shows and movies where people are like running in place doing a task to get. I
don't think it works, but I guess they say it does.
Okay, let's see this. Can we pop up? Now I just dropped my clicker. Let's go to links 1 very quickly. Let's pop it up on the wall because I want to show you. Hi, or I'll just walk onto the wall and you can see me walk right onto the wall like the magic of television. So it's like, you know, running in place. I'll give final weather for you while I'm trying to exercise. 19 to 26 tonight, scattered snow showers, accumulations about 1 to 3 inches colder and breezy. Justin, are you running in place over there to get your exercise in?
I don't even know what I'm watching right here, Dakota.
Okay, there you go.
This is great.
There's your comic relief.
We could do the whole newscast while running. Do you think we could do that? Maybe.
We'd close our rings on Apple Watch, but I think we'd be out of breath. So.
I don't think, see, there's no way, the way that's set up is I can't stand up because you'll get one of those weird shots. Yeah. You'll get this weird shot of my stomach. Like that's.
Well, okay, how about tomorrow? Both of I will wear our masks tomorrow, and we'll do the whole show from the chroma key wall. How's that?
There you go. Yeah. Or we could use our extended set. We never use that because
I know.
They build this and then there's COVID and then we don't use it. Let us know what you think about all this
such
more
as it is.
In the comments down below. Thanks so much for joining us today. Good to see Bob. Good to see Robert. Good to see Amber. That's going to do it for our show. We are back here tomorrow.
If we don't get yanked off the air.
We'll leave you with a live look over downtown Jamestown. Are you running? Dakota is. He's just running. Just running from everybody. See you tomorrow.